Yo, yo. Tell me if I sound like I'm on a tactical mic. Because yes, I have voice mod working, I think. So I don't know. Let me know if it sounds voice modded, and then you can compare it to that. That's a clean mic. Let me know if that's actually working or not. If it's not, we can go conventional. Go conventional. But it's been a long time since I've used my voice mod. It's been a long time since I've streamed, period. Long time. Last stream, I believe, was March 3rd. Okay, so clean mic sounds better than the mic. Yeah, oh yeah, sure. But then I can also do this.
I can do all these kind of funky voices too, so.
But now we're back to clean. So here we go. Let's see. Who was the first one here? It was Chester Copperpot. Don't forget to hit the like button. Is that Spartacus? Because Spartacus is usually the one that gets in there and gives the don't forget to hit the like button messages. But there's been this thing with YouTube lately that it's showing me different usernames that I'm used to seeing in the interface. I don't know why, but it has been. We are again streaming horizontally, conventionally, and vertically on both EUC Army and the Duff channel. If you are in the vertical stream and you don't like it, I have, some people just like to see the widescreen format. If you want to see the widescreen format, you can, the pinned message at the top has the link to the widescreen format of the stream. I have a feeling I'll have to say that multiple times tonight, but yeah. But anyways, thanks, Chester Copperpot, unless you are Spartacus as well. Redneck on a Wheel was very excited to get going. Let's go. I'm starting early. I was scheduled to start at 8 o'clock. My girlfriend's going to be coming over later on this evening, so I figured it'd be better to start earlier rather than later. And it's not like I have a ton of things to talk about. It's weird. Despite me not streaming in a long time, there hasn't been a ton of EUC news, at least not significant stuff that I've seen. I'm just writing down a couple things that just popped into my head. And there might be other things down the road. We'll see. All right. Mr. Rexy, channel member, is here. Mr. Rexy, who I was just corresponding with via email. I sent Mr. Rexy a T-shirt over to Australia, shipped it back in March. And unfortunately, like what happens sometimes when I ship overseas is it seems to have gone into a black hole. The last scan I had was the last tracking information was from March 30th, that it was over in Australia somewhere. But nothing, it has not been delivered. I don't know what happened to it. So sometimes those things just show up. I have had that happen where things just, they go into a black hole and then they magically show up when someone at the post office decides to deliver it, I guess. I don't know. But hopefully it gets resolved. It's annoying. It's annoying for both me and Mr. Rexy. Hold on. Speaking of channel members, I did want to recognize my channel members, something I've been trying to do more and more frequently. Let me share. StreamYard's changed a few things since I streamed last, including their logo. Okay, share the screen. Let's do window, that window, share. Now, unfortunately, if you're on the vertical format, you're probably not going to be able to read this. So it's a good thing that I'm going to read it for you. These are my current channel members, and I believe I have 27 of them. Electric Unicycle, which is Dale. Sometimes he drops and rejoins, so it shows that he's only been a member for 2 months, but he's actually been a member for much longer than that. Epicure, Animated Limb, Spitfire, Scamster, Mr. Rexy, who I was just speaking about, Medium Dog, Timothy Plumley, Brian McCann, Michelle Bardaly, MeUC, my EUC, Blue Collar Jose. It was here who, I wanted to do this in order of people in order of time that they were members, but I forgot to sort it that way, so you have to forgive me. Pitt was here. I haven't identified who that is because his name changed as well, so I'm not quite sure who that is as a channel member. Hopefully someone will tell me sometime. Philip Arnold, Planet Iceland, Simonisms, also known as E. Simon, DJ White Flower, Babbitt the Wabbit, On Air Promo, Larry Zarkov, who I believe, you're here, Larry, at least for now, or you were. A Viking, Brian Gonzalez, Doug Yetman, Ratman Murray over in Australia, Rocky Top, Senator Perry, Marty 1765, and Stuart Ross. Those are my current channel members. I appreciate anyone that is a member. I appreciate anyone that takes the time to view my content, of course. I appreciate subscribers even more. And I appreciate members the most because they're actually, they're financially supporting me directly every month. Very small amount. I think the levels are $1.99 and $2.99, so it's very inexpensive, but still greatly appreciated because no one needs to do that. All right. Mr. Rexy says, sounds the same. Really? Okay. Let me, let's see. How do I search? This should not sound the same.
Mr. Rexy, does this sound the same as the other voices? It definitely should not, but if it does, let me know.
Okay, back to clean mic. Yeah, Larry said the clean mic sounds better. Yeah. Clean mic is actually the clean mic is actually going through voice mod as well. They just have a clean mic setting. A lot of times what I would do in the past is I would just turn off voice mod to have a clean mic, but I'm actually pumping it through voice mod and it still seems to sound okay. Ghost of Gut Funk watching over on Twitch. Have a tiny amount of bit stuff. Thank you, man. On Twitch, that's one of the currencies they have over in Twitch. Bits. You can donate bits to people. Kind of like not. I guess it's kind of like a super chat, but not really. But I appreciate the bits. Ghost of Gut Funk. I don't see a lot of users over on Twitch, but anyone that stops in is welcome, of course. Ghost of Gut Funk. Yes, Twitch integration is working in chat. Yeah, well, like you see all the chats on screen. Some people are confused because, like, when you're on YouTube and if you're in the vertical stream, and unless this has changed, I don't think it's changed. You only see chats in the YouTube interface for like the vertical stream for other people that are in that vertical stream. You don't see the people that are chatting on widescreen, but you can see them all on screen here in StreamYard. So, and there's also StreamYard has its own polling interface. That's another thing that is cordoned off between the different YouTube streams that are going on. Like if I do a poll, it's only for whatever YouTube stream that I send it to. It doesn't show to everybody. With StreamYard, there is a way to show a poll that you actually just put a number in the chat, and then that is your vote on the poll. So we can actually poll across all of the running streams. Redneck on a Wheel. I just landed an OGV 11, 7 miles on it. Brings back the beginning. Really nice. How much did you pay for that? That sounds like someone that had the best intents to learn EUCs and gave up on it. I was a big fan of my V11. I really liked it. V11 and S18, my original 2 suspension wheels. And ever since I got those 2 wheels, have I bought a non-suspension wheel since then? No. I don't believe I have. Mr. Rexy says Straya things. Straya, strange things. Is that supposed to be strange? I'm guessing. Idaho roaming gnome alien shits warehouse that they bought for $5 million, never moved into, tried to resell for 5.9, was foreclosed on and auctioned off yesterday, starting at 1.5 million, but no bidders. Really interesting, because that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Is there hasn't been any, or I haven't heard any news regarding alien rides and the filing that they did with the ITC. I know after the initial filing and all the commentary came in from various people, the public, they modified their claim to, I don't know, try another angle to try to be successful. And as far as I know, that is in the system now, but I have not heard of any further action on it. So yeah, if you know anything more, let me know. So that's interesting. So okay, so their warehouse was foreclosed on. But yet they're going to somehow be able to support the EUC community nationwide. Yeah, right. I do see once in a while they post stuff to social media. Like if it's something to like Facebook, I think comments are always turned off for good reason. But it seems like I think I saw a short from them today that it looked like it was only like e-motos. Like I didn't see any EUCs out. Maybe they stopped selling EUCs because like all the manufacturers basically said F off and we're not going to deal with you. So all I saw was e-bikes in that short today. So again, if someone else has more information, feel free to share. But yeah, I don't think the resentment towards alien rides is going away anytime soon. As soon as they pop up their head, I think it's going to get smashed down like a game of whack-a-mole because people just are really, really turned off by what they did. Larry says, my new Commander Pro GT Plus, to be accurate. That's one of the things I want to talk about. Yeah, because I don't think I even talked about how it all came to be, since I haven't streamed it in a month and a half. No, I haven't actually. At least not on a live stream, at least. Yeah, the Commander GT Pro Plus, it has some crazy specs, man. If I haven't put it on a scale, but if I believe what I saw on a website, it weighs 120 pounds plus. It's heavy, man. It's heavier than a P6. Has a bigger battery than a P6. Has a 4,400 watt hour battery pack and a 168 volt wheel. So yeah, we'll be talking about that. I did my first real ride on Wednesday on it. Took it to Dunkin' Donuts. Probably did about 15 miles on it. And it's cool. It's a different kind of wheel for me, for sure. Very, very different. Never owned an Extreme Bull in my life. Never rode an Extreme Bull wheel in my life. Hold on.
I think I used this voice once before, but I don't remember if I liked it or not. I'm rusty. I don't really remember what all the voices sound like.
So we're back to clean. All right. Okay. Rexy says, okay, now voice mod does appear to be working. Good. Good. Idaho roaming gnome, new unpaid garbage bill liens keep getting added to the collection too. Yeah. Well, garbage bill, property taxes, all that kind of stuff, right? So like the pictures that they've been posting lately, are those not at their warehouse? Do they have another building as well or something? I'm not familiar with their operation, like how it's set up. It's funny. I've continued to listen to my prior live streams. I'm up to live stream number 79, believe it or not, which is right around the time frame shortly after I moved here. So it's been interesting following that journey via live streams. And back then, I was still very positive talking about alien rides. I was talking about how alien rides hooked me up with upgrading my T4. You know, when the T4s came out originally, they had a bunch of issues, and you got like a new motor sent to you because they had the loose stator. Because I got sent a new motor, a kickstand, and some other parts that they sent to me for free. So it's like I've said previously when I talked about the current reality with alien rides. I used to have a really good opinion of them, really good. So it's unfortunate to me that they decided to go down the road that they did, because now they've made an enemy of just about everybody. Simon is here. Simon. So Simon, you got the shirt I sent to you, right? Didn't you tell me you got the shirt? Because Mr. Rexy never got his. His seems to have gone into a black hole in the Australian post office, unfortunately. Its last tracking showed March 30th. Redneck on a Wheel paid $500 for your V11. That's a nice deal, dude. Very nice deal for 7 miles. Wow, that's great. That's really, really good. Oh, okay. Yeah, you Australia guys always you say things that I don't know, because I guess they're like Australian slang. But I learned something new. Straya. Oh, it's like Australia. So Straya is Australia. Okay, I can see that now that I say it out loud. Mr. Rexy's first wheel was a V11. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely not my first wheel, but did I buy? Yeah, I bought the V11 before the S18, so that was technically my first suspension wheel. Yeah. Ghost of Gut Funk. Hey, I'll need to give up all my wheels except the M10-3 and M10-4. They've just been sitting around and collecting dust due to life obligations. Yeah, well, I hear you. I've had a lot of that situation myself. I've since I'm in a happy and successful relationship, I find myself wanting to do things with my girlfriend. When I was in either unhappy relationships or single, I had more inclination to go out and ride my EUC. But it's resulted in less EUC riding, but my overall quality of life has improved. So that's what matters the most to me. But I mean, if you're like me, if you're not riding something and you don't see that changing, I would just sell it, dude. I currently have, let's see how many wheels I have. I have 2 in here. 5 wheels. InMotion E20, InMotion V9, V13, Commander GT Pro Plus, Patton. Oh, 6. And the InMotion V12S. And I've ridden a bunch of those wheels actually in the last week or so. One of the things I have been doing is I bought my girlfriend an e-bike. It was like $600, brand new on Amazon. And I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if it'd be like real shit quality or just a piece of junk, because sometimes you can get pieces of junk. It's a EUY bike. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it, but it's surprisingly good. The build quality seems good. The power is good. I got about 31 miles an hour in the thing. It has like little 20-inch tires. It's foldable. You can fold it in half for storage or transport if you wanted to. The battery seems great. I went on a roughly 15-mile ride with her, and at the end of the 15-mile ride, the battery still showed full. Has a cool little full color screen on it. Almost looks like a little smartphone. It's been really, really good. But anyways, I rode it down to the beach with her and around the area. And then we went out to Ave Maria. And on that ride, I had my Patton. I rode my Patton. And then we went out to Ave Maria last weekend, and I had my V12S. And on my channel, on the video, I believe, no, I didn't shoot a video. She's not going to be in my video. So yeah, I took a picture of it. My V12S in front of the Ave Maria Church from last week. So I have been riding. And on Wednesday, I rode my Commander GT Pro Plus for the first time. And then I went to the Pro Pickleball tournament, the U.S. Open of Pickleball, which is held here, and I rode my V9 over there, because otherwise you have to park off site and then get bussed in. I just rode my V9 in there. So yeah, been getting out there. Could still ride a lot more, but getting out there. Idaho roaming known in regards to alien rides. Yeah, that short was sent to me a couple days ago. And no EUCs in it. Okay. And when I saw it, it didn't have my full attention, but I did not recall seeing EUCs in it. Leo is here. What's up, everyone? What's up, Leo? Leo from Brazil. Thanks for stopping in. I mean, this stream had, I mean, for me, it had some notice. I think I posted it early afternoon, something like that. So yeah, I mean, you guys got like 7 hours notice. That's pretty good for me. Redneck on a wheel, hate that whole deal. EUC community are close. The whole deal, the alien rise deal, yeah, sucks. There was some poor judgment made there. I don't know if it was initiated because of just the business going south or bad decisions or personal greed. I don't know. But whatever the reason, it wasn't a good decision. Redneck says X-Max sounds but good. Is coming back. We'll see. That's one of the things that's on my list of things to talk about. I don't know much about it other than I know Marty's posted some videos and posted all of his typical glamour shots with him with the wheel, but I haven't watched. I know he has positive things to say about it, but I haven't actually watched any of the videos. Oh, so there's Spartacus. So Spartacus is okay. Because there was someone that posted Spartacus before the stream started, inquiring people or encouraging people to hit the like button. I thought that was you, and maybe your name just changed. But there is the one and only Spartacus. Welcome. Idaho Roaming Gnome says they're filmed at their OG warehouse location. Oh, okay. So this isn't an addition. They bought this new warehouse a couple years ago, 2021, 2022, but they never moved into it. Oh, no shit. Really? Because that's around the time that they tried to open that Vegas location as well, right? Wow. Oh, yeah. That's another thing that's happened since my last live stream. EVs closed their doors, right? So it doesn't seem like it's funny. We had a discussion on a live stream, I don't know, a few months ago, where I talked about my conversation that I had with Albert from InMotion. And in that conversation, he mentioned how, at least from InMotion's numbers and research, it seems like the EUC market in the United States is contracting. It's no longer growing. It's actually getting smaller in terms of new wheel sales, at least. And maybe the issues that these dealers are having is somewhat related. That combined with the direct to consumer model that InMotion has been doing, and now Bagode has been doing almost exclusively, trying to go direct to consumer, which cuts dealers out of the loop. So I don't know. I was sad to see EVs go. When they first came on the scene, Bradley and Lucas, I thought they were like a breath of fresh air. Really good energy, really positive. I know that almost like Alien Ride, sort of, they had really big plans. They wanted to have multiple locations. They rented out a separate facility just for repairs and parts, and that went away relatively quickly. They had ideas of expanding into the United States. That never happened either. Then Lucas left the business for reasons I'm not quite sure of. Bradley moved to Costa Rica with at the time saying that he was hoping to run the business remotely, sort of like Jason does for eWheels. And evidently that didn't work out so well. And I guess Gabe was kind of the head person on site for EVs. And yeah, they're done. They are out of business. So that's too bad. I don't know. Maybe the hobby is contracting. They're expensive toys, man. They're expensive. More and more, you hear how people are squeezed for money for various reasons. Wealth inequality, just inflation outpacing wages, all kinds of reasons. The increased cost of everything, just leaving a lot of people with less discretionary income. And maybe it's being reflected in not being able to buy what most people would describe as a luxury purchase, like an EUC. I don't know. Okay, where was I? Planet Iceland, like shipping to France one time there. Oh, like me shipping over there? Yeah. Yeah, well, I think I might have one successful, but then I had one unsuccessful. And the guy, I think I told the story on stream before. The guy was a total asshole about it. Like he expected me to like fly over to France and like be a private investigator to find out where his package was. And I eventually just refunded his money. I think I might have tried to send him twice or something. It was ridiculous, man. But the reality is nowadays I don't ship. I don't sell that many stands, so I don't have to worry about it too much anymore. Okay, so Simon did get his shirt. Okay, yeah. So you've sent me 2 shirts, and both arrived safe and sound. Yeah, and I've sent Dale a couple shirts as well. So I don't know why Rexy's PO is not being able to do so, but hopefully that changes. Planet Iceland, channel member Planet Iceland. Yeah, I described this in the beginning of the stream. Each format has its own chat, and from a YouTube perspective. The vertical stream has its own chat. You only see chats from other people on the vertical stream. The horizontal conventional stream has its own chat. Both chats are merged on screen here. If you look on screen in the bottom right-hand corner, those are chats from all sources, because this is actually being streamed to 5 locations right now. It's being streamed vertically and horizontally to Duff Channel, EUC Army, and also Twitch. So, but everything is merged on screen. But if you're just looking at the YouTube chat, yeah, you're only going to see other people that are in that chat or in that stream. Not ideal. But as far as I know, there's not a way around it from a YouTube perspective. Mason Jez Electrified. I don't think I've ever seen you in a live stream before. Welcome. Welcome, buddy. I appreciate you stopping in. Redneck on Wheels says, I believe if dealers focus on safety, I believe sales will climb. I don't know. I mean, what safety, there's a couple aspects to safety to me. The wheel itself being safe, being engineered to have sealing, to have safety features, to have a good build quality where components don't fail unexpectedly. That's one aspect of safety. But dealers don't really make a wheel safe. But the other problem with safety is the people that buy the wheels. The people that buy the wheels doing unsafe things, people that buy the wheel doing dangerous things, and the people buying the wheels getting hurt as a result of doing dangerous things. And I know that there was a GoFundMe that one of my Facebook buddies brought my attention to. Some guy that is it Ray or Rex Reno or something like that? I think he might have a P6, and evidently he was in a really, really bad accident where he hit a vehicle. I don't know the circumstances, but that's the safety aspect that I think is the biggest issue, and that's the issue that I've always talked about for years, where people kind of will throw safety to the wind, especially when you see in social media people doing all kinds of unsafe things. But they're alive, they're okay, they're not having an accident. So simplified thinking is, okay, well, he can do it, I can do it. And you may be able to do it for a period of time. You may be able to do it for a long time. But when that behavior catches up to you, you shouldn't be surprised. And even if you don't ride that way, it can catch up to you. I'm a pretty safe rider. I don't do risky things. I don't try to push wheels to their limits. But even I almost died last year when I had my inner tube blowout on my Begode Master when I was next to 3 lanes of traffic, and I fell into the traffic. I have no idea how I escaped that day without getting run over, but I did. But that aspect of wheels, a lot of people, that's going to scare them away. Even if they're in the hobby, there's a lot of people that have a serious accident like that happens, and it kind of realigns their thinking, and they're like, I'm out of here. It's fun, but it's not worth my life. Lyman says EVs made such good videos, always really funny. Well, I think the videos that when it was Bradley and Lucas were really funny. Once that went away once Lucas left the picture. I mean, they weren't bad videos, but it definitely changed the energy of the videos. At least for me, at least from my perspective, it did. Idaho roaming gnome again talking about alien rights and their ITC filing. It was a last ditch effort for a money grab, hoping it would fly under the radar of the community due to the short 10-day public comment window. It's a miracle it got caught in time. That's true. That's true. Can you imagine? I mean, that really is slimy. If he thought that he could just get that out there without anyone noticing, that's real. And imagine if it did go through. I mean, people are mad now. People would be furious if he tried to sneak it through in the down low, which it sounds like maybe he was trying to do it. He was just unsuccessful doing so. Leo says, in regards to dealers, I get the economic challenges people are facing. Just came back of my 3 business trips to several U.S. cities, and in D.C., I always see EUCs around. D.C. crew is going strong. Go D.C. Yeah, D.C. has a pretty strong EUC community. I actually saw 2 guys on election when I was coming back from Ave Maria. There was actually, was it 2 or 3? I think it was 2. 2 guys actually riding out there in Golden Gate Estates together. So that was different. Not used to seeing that. Planet Iceland, cool. Ghost of Gut Funk. We just need Mr. Beast to ride an EUC to make sales climb. Well, do you know who Whistling Diesel is? Whistling Diesel is a pretty famous YouTuber. He has over 10 million subscribers. It's mostly an automotive channel where he does like all kinds of ridiculous things to vehicles and destroys them, and all kinds of crazy stuff. But he actually had a V14 that he, I think he actually welded or attached somehow like handlebars to it, and he was riding that around in several of his videos. I think he still has it, or I think I remember seeing it not so long ago in their warehouse. So there have been some people that, well-known people that have had them, but I don't know. I think the issue is it's one of those things where you see someone riding and you see whether it's in person or on social media, and you're like, oh man, that's cool, man, that's cool. I want to learn to do that too. I want to do that. It looks cool. Look how much fun they're having. They're just whipping in and out. They make it look easy. But then the reality is, they get one and they try it, and it takes a certain type of personality to actually get to the point where they can ride an EUC. It's not easy. It's not an instant gratification hobby. And there's so many people that's all they can do anymore is just they need instant gratification for whatever they're doing. And learning EUCs is not one of those things. So I don't know. I'm not sure. And on top of that, we have all the regulations going on. It seems like every other day I hear about a new state or a state or municipality that is rolling out their own PEV regulations. They're all pretty similar. 750 watt hour motors for the maximum, and no more than 28 miles an hour top speed. Anything above that, they want you to have registration and insurance. The gotcha is it's not available. You can't get those vehicles registered or insured anywhere, as far as I know. The closest thing you can do to insurance is if you just had like a blanket liability policy, but it wouldn't be insuring the wheel per se, but it's just insuring your liability, which I actually have. I actually have a liability policy. It wasn't for EUCs, it was for something else. So I guess technically I'm insured. I guess if I did something negligent, I'd be liable for on a wheel. But it's a catch-22. The whole situation is a catch-22. Redneck on a wheel. Wheel safety is big to me. So again, are you referring to what a manufacturer is putting into a wheel to make it safe? Because really, that's the only thing a manufacturer can do is put in as much safety features as possible into a wheel, really. And Begode has been infamous for sort of putting that in the back burner, not making that the most important thing over the years. I saw John Fernandez. He rode the X-Max at a racetrack somewhere, I guess, and he had very positive things to say about it. And he said that his impression was Begode was actually taking their time with the X-Max, perhaps taking a lesson from InMotion and what they did with the P6. Now, the difference is InMotion made their P6 testing very public. They made it very public as far as what they were testing and videoed it and showed it. And there were some good and some bad things during that testing. It seems like Begode is not necessarily making that public as far as whatever they're testing, but they are taking their time, because there's been so many times where Begode would announce a wheel and, within a month, hey, you can get it. And that's resulted in a number of wheels coming out that just had dangerous problems in some cases. So hopefully they're learning, but I never assume that Begode's going to learn, but maybe. But talk about a company struggling. I keep hearing about how they're not consistently paying their employees. How Seth Johnson walked away from the deal he had to service Begodes because he wasn't getting what he was promised from Begode. So yeah, I still have questions about their viability as a company long term. Ghost of Gut Funk, like the 5% that rides at 17 miles an hour max. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. For a long time, I was that guy. Well, more so because wheels had less capability, but for many, many years, riding 20 miles an hour or less was my norm, and that's where I wanted to go. So that's all the faster I wanted to go. So yeah, it's not a big deal. It's weird, like in some areas, like people like shame you, like oh, what, you only go 30 miles an hour? Oh, what a pussy! I mean, what? Come on, that's stupid. People are in the hobby to get whatever they want out of the hobby, and if not going 50 miles an hour is what they want to do, they don't want to go that fast. Who cares, really? I mean, who cares? Like this elitism that you see in certain areas of the community. I don't really subscribe to that, and I think people that do probably are insecure in other areas of their lives. That's just my feeling. Simonism. Sam Pilgrim is pretty popular and has been posting EUC videos recently. It's funny you say that, Simon. I think it was Sam Pilgrim. Didn't he just get a NOSFET Apex? I think I just saw a video of him riding a NOSFET Apex around. It seems like he didn't set it up right because it was beeping, doing things I wouldn't expect it to beep at. I think the wheel wasn't set up correctly. He probably doesn't know how to set it up correctly. But yeah, I think I just saw Sam Pilgrim. Planet Iceland says, about dealers, I was approached on my TikTok account by a guy who says he is selling EUC and EUC stuff from Texas. Mr. David Electric Unicycles. I need some parts for my wheels, but I don't know how safe. Interesting. Never heard of him. So I don't know. I would definitely do some research. Rocky Top. What's up, buddy? I have 5 wheels. My newest wheel is the first shipment of the S18. No shit, dude. Really? S18 is the newest wheel that you have. That's funny. They all still work great. I don't need to buy another wheel. Yeah, no, I hear you. It was interesting when I was listening back to live stream number 79, which was in 2023. During that live stream, I listed off my wheel inventory. And I think it was 5 or 6 wheels I had at the time. And as I'm listening to my inventory from 2023, I'm like, nope, got rid of it. I totally turned over my EUC collection that I had in 2023. I don't have any of those wheels that I had in 2023, which I thought was interesting. Mr. Marty Backey is here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Welcome to my first live stream in a month and a half. Oh, Marty, you're going to like it because let's see. Because usually when I do my Marty voice, it's because I don't have voice mod working.
But now I do, Marty, so if you say something that I determine needs Marty voice sound effects, I can apply an effect to it.
But most of the time, I'll talk normal like this. Okay, as far as safety goes, Redneck on a Wheel is referring to what a manufacturer does. Yeah. Yeah, I think safety is important. And when a wheel is costing $3,000 to $4,000, it better be safe, right? And at least in my opinion. That should be an important aspect of any one-wheeled electric self-balancing device. Marty, it didn't take long for me to have to use a voice.
Because Marty is the ultimate good apologist. Good was here at the beginning, they'll be here at the end.
You think so? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see, Marty. There's just things that have gone on that I know you're a little beholden to Begode because of the favor that they've done for you. Yeah, they've done a lot of favors for you. So I understand that would make you want to defend them. Me, I've not had such favors, and even if I did, I don't think I'd be honest if I said that I think everything's going to be just fine with Begode, because usually when there's smoke, there's fire. No pun intended with Begode. Planet Iceland says slow and safe is cool. Sure, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. Spartacus pimping the like button. Thank you, Spartacus. I always forget to do it, and then you do it for me. If you already hit the thumbs up button, thank you. If you haven't, then please smash the like button to like the stream and subscribe. I agree with that 100%, Spartacus. Thank you. Marcus, what good stories have I missed? I haven't talked about a lot of personal stuff. Oh, I did go to the dermatologist again this week for my 6-month checkup, and surprise, I have to have more skin cancer cut out next Thursday. More skin cancer, 20th time maybe. I don't know. I've never tried to keep track. It's ridiculous. It's behind my left ear now. I had a spot behind my right ear cut out years ago. Now I have a spot behind the left ear. It's actually been there for quite a while. I was just kind of hoping that it was going to go away, but it never did. So I said, just test this. So they take a little slice of it and they test it and they said, oh, yeah, it's basal cell. So it's going to be another Mohs procedure next Thursday. It's a really small spot. My last go round, I had a really small spot cut out here, and that healed up really quick. So I'm expecting something similar in this situation, I hope. Duff's calling me a shill now. Oh man, I didn't use the voice. No, I'm not calling you a shill, Marty, but I think that you're a human being, and like I said, Begode has done a lot of favors for you. So even if you don't consciously do it, I think it's hard for you to be overly negative about Begode because they've done you so many favors. X-Max. I wish I had a list of all the favors they've done for you, Marty, but I can't. I lost track. And I mean, they're smart, right? I mean, you're one of the well-known people in the UC community. So keeping Marty happy in their minds is a good business move. Now remember, these are the same people that brought Opsum into the fold too. Even though someone told me that her channel was like banned or taken down or something. So maybe Opsum's not in the Begode fold anymore. So maybe they had to double down with you, Marty. Just make sure you keep your clothes on. Spartacus says, Marty, your content speaks for itself. Real talk. You did change things up for a while after you broke your ankle, but reverted back. Change things up. Well, I remember he wasn't very happy with Begode after the A2 incident, which I understand. I think he was given that wheel, though, too. Planet Iceland. Begode seems to have tried to improve since Gotway times. I don't know. They've constantly been trying to improve, and to me, Begode's been like in one of those 1 step forward, 2 step backwards kind of things. You're like, oh, well, they've turned the corner. They're doing this, that, the other thing better now. and then they fall on their face. They release the Begode race. That's a recent example of a mess. And I've talked before about their whole thing with releasing a wheel like every or announcing a new wheel every month. It seems it's just crazy sometimes. That has slowed down, like John Fernandez said. It seems like they've slowed down a little bit. Hence why I don't have any new wheels to really talk about, even though I haven't streamed in a month and a half. I don't have any, unless something was announced that I totally missed. I don't have any new wheels to talk about. Now I know Marty's going to say, "Well, I know this and I know that. I know this is coming. I know that is coming." Well, I don't. So there hasn't been any public announcements that I'm aware of. Yeah, the Marty voice. Oops. Idaho roaming gnome. She just got that rocket with street tire from Lean. Okay. I don't know. I don't follow Opsum, so I don't know. Does anyone know? Did something happen to her YouTube channel? I mean, I wasn't a subscriber to it, but she had like over 1 million subscribers. So if she lost that, I mean that hurts. That really hurts her, I'm sure. I'm drinking Cayman Jack, by the way. Try to finish this quick. Take a quick bathroom break, and then I'll be right back. Marty said, "I only said I'd never ride an A2. Otherwise, I continued riding their wheels along with other wheels." Yeah, you never said you were boycotting them. Except an A2. Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, I don't dispute that, Marty.
Maybe I should use this voice when I talk about Marty or talk as Marty. This voice is literally called Karen. Marty's not a Karen. Marty doesn't like Karens, actually.
All right, back to clean. We're not going to wheel. That's scary. I lost my uncle due to skin cancer. Treat that stuff very seriously. Yeah, well, I got my first skin cancer in my 30s, and when I first was told I had skin cancer, I'm like, oh shit, am I going to die? I was really, really freaked out. Since then, I've come to know more about skin cancer, and all my skin cancers have been basal cell, which is the most minor type of skin cancer, very common. It's not going to kill you. The type that's serious is melanomas. Now, the bad part about having as much basal cell as I have is it makes me more at risk to potentially develop a melanoma. But knock on glass, I haven't had anything like that happen. So that's why when I do have skin cancer, I do try to get it handled expediently, and I go every 6 months. So. It is serious, yeah. I know a couple people in my personal circle that have died from skin cancer, from melanoma. Yeah, it's no joke. Planet Iceland, I remember the time they released many wheels. Looked to me they were in a hurry to replace their older product line with new style look wheels. Yeah, for sure. And it pissed off a good portion of the community where they would buy a wheel and it's obsolete. Next month it's obsolete because they either reduced a version or they release a version that fixed the number of the problems with the prior versions, or they release a new model completely. So hopefully they found, because they've done that for almost as long as I can remember. Hopefully they've seen the error in their ways in that regard, and they're thinking differently. That maybe it's better to release fewer wheels that are better wheels, better engineered, better researched wheels. Ronan, how am I? I'm good, buddy. Ronan from New York City. Many of you probably know Ronan's EUC channel. Ronan does a great job reviewing wheels. Ronan was got in trouble. He got in trouble with Begode, I really blame Marty. It's probably Marty that initiated the whole thing. No, just kidding. But yeah, he got into an issue with Lean because Ronan brought up the fact that New York City didn't get a chance to review the X-Max. Like an X-Max wasn't sent to him, and Marty got an X-Max, and so Ronan brought that up, and yeah, there was a little bit of back and forth there. A lot of activity on his Facebook post regarding that. It used to be that like getting a wheel to New York City was a number one priority, and then they tried to get wheels to New York City and California pretty much the same time, and now it seems like there's more priority given to the California guys, at least from a distance. That's what it seems like to me. But Ronan's a good dude, and he cares about he cares about putting good unbiased reviews out there. So I appreciate Ronan's content. This is a new name, Pro Social Chaos. Welcome to the stream, Pro Social Chaos. InMotion should be coming out with their off-road P6 equivalent. Apex is due for update. Oh yeah. What's this? Hold on. Okay. No, I did not hear about. I didn't know that InMotion was doing a off-road P6 equivalent, and the Apex. So they're going to refresh the Apex. Good. Well, hopefully they refresh it that the stanchions don't get so sticky and require constant cleaning if you're doing a lot of off-roading. Good information. Rocky Top. Has anyone reached 88 miles an hour yet? I was hoping to use an EUC with my time machine setup. Yeah, I believe there are people that have at least posted wheel speeds around that area, Rocky Top. That Nighthawk guy who's out in California in the Riverside area, he posts screenshots of ridiculous speeds on his P6 on a regular basis. I think he might have gotten that high. I'm not quite sure. The guy seems to have a death wish, but he's enjoying the attention he's getting on social media. Blue Collar Jose, channel member Blue Collar Jose. Hey, Duff, did you find a stand for your C-Max? I have a Blitz Pro, and that wheel is super tall. Well, no, my EUC Army stand works with the my Commander Pro, Commander Max GT Pro Plus. It works on an EUC Army stand. What I don't have is the kickstand. The kickstand that was sent to me was the metal was ripped. I guess the wheel must have fallen at some time, and I guess these kickstands are notorious for that. They're flimsy, they break very easily, they bend very easily, and the one that was included, it was bent to the point where I couldn't even get it mounted on the wheel. So, and then I looked at the replacement cost for this shitty metal kickstand, then easily bendable kickstand. It was like, to get it shipped to me, it was like $100 almost. I'm like, F that. I'm either just going to go without, because I can with the Clark Pad fairing kit, I can just put it on its nose or its ass, at a parallel to the ground. I'd rather have a kickstand, but I don't feel like paying $100 for something that could easily break if it falls over again. I am considering seeing if I can model something and 3D print something out of, I don't know, PETG carbon fiber or something, and maybe make something that would survive. I don't know. We'll see. Planet Iceland, take good care. I hear a lot of retired Canadians move to Florida for that nice sun you got, kind of like Spain for older Europeans. Oh yeah, there's lots of snowbirds in Florida. Less now because of some of the policies that Trump enacted. I heard that. I talked to Canadians down here, and they were saying that I guess there's some financial penalties for them now that didn't exist before. I don't know. But regardless, there are a lot of Canadians here. All right, I'm going to do a very quick bathroom run, grab another Cayman Jack, probably close my door because I think my girlfriend might be here soon. I don't want her to hear the silliness, so I'll be right back. So much better. Oh, you see my shirt? Can you see it? Death Knight. You know what a death? If you know what a Death Knight is, feel free to put it in the chat. Got this shirt yesterday. I'm a geek at heart. I have been one of the things I've been doing again that I hadn't really been doing for a very long time is I've been enjoying the new version of World of Warcraft. I've been playing World of Warcraft a lot more than I have in the last couple of years. So I have been enjoying that. It's a great way for me to kind of escape reality and all the madness that's going on in the world of Warcraft. Blue Collar Jose says Lean did a demo tour of the X-Mac and Falcon Pro, and they didn't let him into Canada. Yeah, I did see that. I saw that. I guess he said something that the border police deemed was a lie. It just sounded like it was just sort of an exaggeration, maybe. But then they like detained him for a long time. It sounded like a cluster F. That sucked because I guess there was a lot of people waiting to do this demo, and Liam couldn't get into Canada. Yeah, things between Canada and the United States aren't so good right now. Wonder why. Pro-social chaos, rumors. Okay. Planet Iceland using, this is if you didn't know this, if you are a member, they allow you, I think once a month, to do a super chat like this that they don't charge you for. Normally with a super chat, you do a donation for whatever amount of money, and it puts the message in this format. Planet Iceland, because he's a member, he gets to do this. And he also gets to use the cool emojis whenever he wants in either live streams or in comments on videos. So he's taking advantage of that member feature. Redneck on a Wheel agrees that Ronan is solid. Yes, he is. I like Ronan. Yeah, to be honest, I look forward more to Ronin videos, wheel reviews than Sean's. I'm not saying anything bad about Sean, but I enjoy Ronin's review videos more. Marty says regarding Nighthawk, Nighthawk is not the same guy that he is in person. Very surprised when I found out who he was. Oh, really? Do I know who he is, Marty? So he has one persona for the camera and another persona in person. Really interesting. Wow. Imagine that. Redneck on a Wheel. I need an EUC stand for my Sherman L. Yeah, my stands work for, I don't know, 90% of the wheels. I've now, since I got this large format printer, I've made them mega high, so they will support almost any wheel. The only caveat is if the bottom, certain wheels on the bottom, like where the pedal hanger is or beneath the pedal hanger, if it's not a flat surface, if there isn't a flat surface that can sit on the stand, then it's a problem. But almost all wheels will fit on my stands. And like I said, I put my Commander Pro GT Commander Pro GT Plus, that's a tongue twister, on it, and it's fine. And that's a heavy ass wheel, man, 120 pounds. It was fine. And when actually I've never had a Sherman L here, but a Sherman L would fit on it just fine. A Lynx would fit on it. Sherman S fit on the stands. So yeah, all you guys basically do is just make sure you adjust the width correctly on the stand, that it's adjustable. And once you do that, you're golden. Simon says, Nighthawk blocked me because I told him he rides like an idiot. Well, it is true. He rides like someone that's desperately seeking attention. That's the way I would describe it. Marty says, I honestly think the X-Max is a solid competitor to the P6 if you don't care about the extras that come with the P6. And much cheaper. Yeah, much cheaper. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the P6 seems like a commercial, like something that almost like an automotive company would make, right? it has lots of features. Build quality is nice. It just seems like a very, very polished product. The X-Max, it looks like so many other Begode wheels. I don't know. I mean, visually, it looks like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of their other wheels. It just has better components inside. And I know that you've been a big fan of it. And like I mentioned earlier, John Fernandez had positive things to say about it as well. So, I mean, hopefully it's good. And it is a lot less expensive, isn't it? From Begode.com, isn't it something like $3,500, something like that? Yeah, I mean, the people that money matters to, that's in it. That's a big influence. Now, I know for you, Marty, money doesn't matter, but I mean, for most people, it does. One last run. Hey, long time. What's up, one last run? Welcome to the stream. Tom Nell, Marty gonna save Begode? I don't know. I mean, Marty's always been a big Begode fan. And that being said, yes, Marty has called them out for various things over the years. You know, there are some of their QC blunders, and build quality blunders. But all in all, he is a. I don't want to say that Marty is a fanboy, but he is one of the biggest Begode supporters out there. And they have rewarded him for his support. Blue collar Jose. What if Marty is Nighthawk? Oh, I like that. That is some good stuff. Yeah, maybe, you know, Marty walks around like Bruce Wayne during the day, but when people aren't looking, he switches into his Nighthawk costume, and he is the guy in the P6 going 80 to 90 miles an hour. Wow, I love that story. Damn, I should have posted that on April Fool's. Marty is actually Nighthawk. Planet Iceland, I have communicated with Nighthawk on TikTok a few times. Seems to be very interested in making cutting edge that's one way to describe it. Cutting edge content with that P6, getting a spectrum of opinions on his case. Yeah, I bet. Well, I don't know how you can expect anything else but that. I mean, when you put stuff like that on social media, you're gonna get shit. I've mentioned multiple times how I'm a subscriber to Saronster. Saronster is also out in Southern California. Saronster is an Emoto guy, and it's interesting. Lots of his videos show him in these massive group rides of people on e-bikes, and more it's kids doing crazy ass shit. I mean, we talk about Nighthawk doing crazy shit. These kids on these Surons and Suron style bikes, doing wheelies in and out of traffic, doing wheelies when bunched up in a group ride with like a foot on either side. Lots of times during these group rides, you see accidents happening, people going down. And it's funny, or it's ironic that recently he was talking about he was kind of having he was being introspective and saying how I guess he has some conflict because he loves doing these kind of rides, but he also realizes that putting this kind of stuff out on the internet and social media, it makes the problem of regulation and people being unhappy about PEVs worse. So in a way, he's making his hobby worse by showing stuff that he loves to do. And I think Nighthawk's kind of doing the same thing. It's just the UC community is much smaller, but he's doing similar things, in my opinion. Marty says, I have every wheel and can attest that Duff stands work with them all. Yeah, and like I said, Marty, I have ones that have much higher sides now that would work with, like I remember you had to kind of hack the one stand to make it work with the Master Pro. I think the stands I have now would actually, I call them skyscraper stands, Marty. I think that my skyscraper stand would work without any modifications. Where to buy my stand? EUCarmy.com. I'll put it in the chat here. Army.com/store. That's I hopefully that went through in chat. Sometimes links are restricted, but that's where you can get one. I used to have like 20 of them on stock. Now I have like I keep a stock of like 3 or 4. That's all I need. Blue Collar Jose enjoying the 168 volt Blitz Pro. Yeah, I saw that group buy finally came in. Yeah, for $1,600, it is a good deal. As long as it's doesn't have issues like the race did. Yeah, it's a great deal. I've seen multiple people that bought those say that they're pleased. So good. I'm glad, because I know you guys had to wait for a long time. Yes, Simon, I love that lore as well. Marty is secretly Nighthawk. I might have to have AI like make a skit about that. Marty, it's funny, when I went to China, they treated me like a rock star. Yeah. Oh, I know, Marty. I know. And I know that you love that. I know you had to love that. I'm sure you love that. So that could influence things, right? I mean, like I said, it's human nature. Marty says Nighthawk he's in a form of law enforcement. A form of law enforcement. Okay, well, he wouldn't be a police. So if he's in a form of law enforcement, I would guess then hopefully he's not like a mall cop, right? Maybe he's like a prison guard. Or he could be what was the other thing I was going to say? Prison guard. What other law enforcement is there? I don't know. Prison guard or border patrol, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. But if he isn't like legit law enforcement, like, maybe that's why he feels like he can ride that way, because he thinks he has a get out of jail free card, maybe. So you're saying, Marty, I don't know who this is, right? Or I wouldn't know the name. One last run. Don't know why it's showing as one last run. But it's One Somniac. Is there a topic for today's stream? No. Well, the stream is called Crickets, and it's called Crickets because there hasn't been an overwhelming amount of EUC news in the last month and a half since I streamed last. And as far as your name, we've noticed that in the last couple months, people's names are showing up differently in the live stream for some reason. I don't know what YouTube is doing differently, but yeah. Blue Collar Jose. Marty does look like a blonde Mick Jagger. Yeah. Hey, Marty, do you know that I know what you look like without hair, thanks to AI? I know what you would look like without hair. You don't want to see it. Blue Collar Jose, that Blitz Pro is basically an ET Max, is it? Is it, what's the battery size in a Blitz Pro? Because during the video that I made about the Commander Pro GT Plus, I said to me, it seems like Begode basically told Extreme Bull, okay, well, people said that they want an ET Max with a bigger battery, and here you go. Just that's what the Extreme Bull Pro GT Pro Plus is. 168 volt wheel with a massive battery. That's kind of what it seems like. And the tire that Chris has in that thing, I think it's 100/90. It's huge, man. It is a big, big tire. It is a big, heavy wheel. Marty says, I have to admit, I use most of your stands for photo shoots. Yeah, I figured. Well, I mean, if a wheel has a kickstand, I mean, in most situations, that's sufficient. I mean, I think they definitely look better on a stand than propped up on a kickstand, but yeah. Planet Iceland has seen that too. I would probably not join a Suron group ride myself. No. And I've seen I've seen people down here doing that. Not massive group rides, but people on e-motos on 6-lane roads, 3 lanes both sides, doing wheelies down the middle of traffic. And that's just like a fast track to nowhere good for sure. And some said FBI for Nighthawk. Someone said FBI. Okay, we'll see if he is FBI. Then again, he probably thinks that he has a type of immunity with law enforcement. Oh, that's what I was going to say. An ICE agent. Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say. An ICE agent. Yeah, maybe. Although they don't have very good reputations right now either, do they? Dale is here. Electric Unit Psycho. What's up, buddy? Welcome. Marty says much more serious law enforcement. Okay, well then that sounds like ICE. So the Blitz has a 3,000 watt hour battery. Okay, because that's what the ET Max has, right? Okay, so it is very similar to an ET Max gut wise. It just doesn't look like one. I think the ET Max might have been a little bit better looking wheel to me, visually. There is a chance you rode with him when you're out here in California, but I'd have to go back and look at the pictures. Really? He's not tall enough to be Mike Martins. Let's see. I think Mike Martins is an electrician. Interesting. All right, Marty. Well, if you want to let me know offline, that's interesting. Yes, Marty, or not Marty, Blue Collar Jose. Yeah, I'm almost sure it's 190. I need to look at the markings on the tire, but I think that's what Chris said. Spartacus reminding people to hit that like and subscribe. Let's see. Let me just check something here quick. So I have an idea. Okay. Redneck, can I Venmo you for this? No, you don't need to do that. My store has credit card processing built into it. You can either PayPal or use a conventional credit card. It accepts both. So it should have you handled. When you check out, you have that option to pay however you want to pay. I've had it set up for, at least 5 years, 6 years, maybe. Yeah, it's been online for a long time. There's a time period where I was selling a bunch of stands. Okay, so I want to test this feature with the pole that's supposed to go through supposed to go across all 5 streams that are running currently. I want to see if this works. Okay. So I go here. It's the first time I'm doing this. So okay, I'm going to show the poll. Okay, the poll says, what is the hottest wheel right now? And you put your answer in by typing 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. And the options are InMotion P6, a NOSFET Aeon, which I haven't even talked about tonight, but it does seem to be a pretty hot wheel. The Begode X Max or something else. So in theory, like I said, I've never tried this before, and I know that the poll on the vertical stream is blocking out half my face. Sorry, I tried to tweak that earlier, but I don't know how to change that. But anyways, yeah, put in 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think it's supposed to automatically update the poll. Yeah, okay, I see results going in. Oh, Dale mentioned the Lynx S. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Yeah, Lynx S is, well, then answer something else, Dale. So far, interesting. How many of us we have in there? NOSFET Aeon in the lead, 100% for the Aeon. I mean, the Aeon is basically just an Arrow on steroids. An Arrow being the wheel that I traded to Chris Clark for the Commander GT Pro Plus. I am curious what you guys think as far as the value of that trade, how I did. Because I believe this wheel, the Commander GT Pro Plus, when it sold new, it was $4,000 plus. Might have been closer to $4,500. I don't know. It was expensive. So I traded him my NOSFET Arrow that had like less than 100 miles on it, for the Commander GT Pro Plus with about 1,000 miles on it. You know, with some minor issues, nothing major. Seems to ride just fine. With the full Clark fairing system on it as well, which he probably sold for, I don't know, $300 probably, if you're to buy that. And the Clark pedals are on that as well. So how do you think I did value-wise in that trade? I think I did pretty good. I think I got good value on that trade. Unlike the original trade that got me the Arrow, where I traded the Kingsong F22 Pro, which had hardly any miles on it, for the NOSFET Arrow. That was how I got the Arrow in the first place. So I've gone from the F22 Pro to the Arrow to the Commander GT Pro Plus, with those last two being trade deals. All right, not getting a lot of people voting on the poll, man. Come on, we need more entries. I want to test this. You type one, like it says there. Type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat for your selection of the hottest wheel right now. I'm going to vote myself, because I'm going to say that the hottest wheel is still. So only one person, only one other person voted. Because this does work though. I would say the Emotion P6 is still the hottest wheel. I still see, even though it's been out for months now, and the initial hype has died down, I still see lots and lots of people in social media saying, I just got my P6, or they're posting all kinds of crazy stuff that they did in their P6, so they're telling the world how they love their P6. I think the P6 is still the hottest wheel. And they're still in their lockout period where the dealer is not allowed to sell them for less than $5,000, which goes on until September, I believe. It was supposed to be 1 year from when it was introduced. I think it was introduced in September. I think. I'm not quite sure. Okay. All right. We're getting a couple of votes in there. Okay. People are getting the hang of this. I mean, the X-Max, I think when the X-Max is released widespread, and if it does get positive reviews, it could be a hot wheel. But I think the problem with the X-Max is if the primary way that people are going to get them is through Begode.com, which in the United States is supposed to be facilitated by Leem, right? I think that it's going to make it difficult. I mean, I don't know about other people, but I would have hesitations about buying from Begode.com. I would much rather buy from a dealer in the United States. That's just me. Because I think Begode's supposed to have I guess Leem is supposed to be their service center as well. I think. Originally, I thought he was just going to be like their sales manager or whatever in the United States, but then I think Marty is the one that actually corrected me and said that he was going to be the service as well, because Seth Johnson stepped away because he wasn't happy with certain things. All right, got some more votes coming in. All right, the Emotion piece. I would, yeah. To me, the P6 is clearly still the hottest wheel, and the fact that it came out, Blue Collar Jose said it came out in October. The fact that it came out in October and we're now 7 months past that, and it's still the hottest wheel. That says something for both the P6 and the fact that there hasn't been nearly as many wheel releases in the last 6 months, and as we've become accustomed to. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it is a thing for sure. Dale says, spec-wise, it's a good deal, but you swap a good brand for a shit one. Oh, so I can just keep the poll running. Okay, if I have a chat up, it just hides it. Okay, that's cool. All right, so I'll just leave that chat running, or that poll running. Pro Social Chaos, F18 best new value wheel. F18 has been interesting. I know Matt Burt likes his. Although he had issues, I think, with the motor bolts coming loose. I think, right? Wrong Way had good things to say about it. It's weird. Like Wrong Way did a video where it was weird. It was split between his review when he was in China riding the F-18, and then after the fact when he's back in Poland. And it seemed when he was back in Poland, he came up with more negative things about the wheel than he really had nothing significantly negative to say about it when he was in China. Maybe that's because he was in front of King Song reps in China. But he had mostly positive things to say about it. I like the fact that the F-18 is designed to be easily serviceable, super easy to drop the motor if you have to fix a tire or replace a tire. That's nice. It kind of looks like an F-22 Pro. I mean, visually, it's the F-22 Pro and the F-18. You know, they look like Lynx derivatives, sort of, which isn't a bad thing. And let's see, what are they selling that for? Was it $3,200 or something like that? Not a bad value. Let's see, is eWheels even selling it? But unfortunately, I think that King Song, through their missteps and blunders of recent years, starting with the S20, later known as the S22, they've really kind of turned people off. Let's see, F-18. Okay, yeah, eWheels has the F-18, $3,199. Okay, $3,200. But yeah, suppose the F-18 has really great torque. Let me just share this. I guess I might as well share this window to you. I'm just looking at, I haven't really looked at what eWheels is even selling nowadays. Libra Kim, the Lynx S, F-18. They're selling extreme wheel K6s. Really interesting. Not a single Begode wheel. I guess what they might. I guess that they haven't shut the door on Extreme Bull yet, or on Extreme Bull, because they had the Rocket there and they have the Extreme Wheel K6 Max. You have a Begode A1. He probably already had that. M10.5. I'm just looking to see what they have for Begode wheels. They still have Tesla V3s, really. It seems like Begode X-Ways. These are probably wheels that they already had. I don't know that they're buying a lot of new Begode wheels. Well, here's a Blitz. I thought someone said the Blitz had a 3,000 watt hour battery. That says 2,400. Yeah, he's a lot of older wheels here still. Begode Master V2, an EXN, really? Oh wow. So, anyways, but yeah, F-18 I think is a better wheel than the F-22. But unfortunately, like I think the last good selling wheel that King Song had was the S22. Even with the shitload of problems they had, a lot of people bought them, including myself. But since then, I don't think that they've released a winner. As far as from a sales perspective, I don't think a lot of people trust or buy King Song wheels anymore. They're just people kind of shoulder shrug them. And I'm not quite sure how they're going to change that. Dale says they didn't pay Seth. That's why he stopped. Yeah, that's basically what I heard. That whatever the arrangement was with Seth, Begode didn't do it. That's why I was a little concerned that why aren't they going to do the same thing to Liam? But he's, as far as I know, he's doing okay. But Marty says Begode's fine. Marcus, I'm still riding my Gotway Tesla V1 that I bought in 2018. Nice, dude. Wow. That is an oldie but goodie. Now, people didn't receive the P6 until December, if that matters. I thought some people got it early. No, you're right. You're right. I do remember. You're right. I do remember that being a big deal, that people were trying to get it before the holidays. That's right. Looking at our poll, no one else has voted on the poll. Poll is still active. Type 1, 2, 3, or 4. The hottest wheel right now in Motion P6, NOSFET Aeon, Begode X-Max, or something else. Let's see here. Okay. Not going to stream real long here tonight. That's one of the reasons I started early. All right, so we talk about the F-18. All right. Marty says, it wasn't me who said that Liam will handle service, and I doubt he will. No? Somebody told me that. Because all right, I apologize. It was because on a live stream I said that my initial understanding was Liam was going to handle like after sales support, like after sales support, and like marketing in the United States, and Seth was going to handle the service. And then someone corrected me and said that no, Liam is doing everything. So if that's not the case, then who's going to do the service, Marty? Redneck on a Wheel just ordered. Did I get your purchase? Let me see. Let's see if I got the email. I get an email when someone orders. Let me see here. Okay, if you literally just did it, I did not get the email yet. So I mean, did everything look normal when you went through it? So Dale says they have Liam doing after sales service for them in the USA. Not sure if that means he does repairs or just organizes the replacement parts. Okay. Well, Marty would probably know because Marty's friends with Liam. So I don't know. Pro social chaos. Used wheel market implies that too many people are buying high performance wheels and selling them within about 100 miles of frustration, which means lower demand in the future. Yeah, right. And I talked about that. Might have been before you came in, as that being one aspect of it. People see them. People see people on social media or in person riding a wheel, think it's really cool, assume that it's not a big deal to learn, and then they find out it's a big deal. And then they have this thing that's a pain in the ass to learn that they spend thousands of dollars on. So instead of persevering, they just dump it and take the loss. Marty's trying to sell your S16. Oh, I saw you had that listed for sale. You still haven't sold it? Didn't you have it like listed like for $800 or something like that? Like really cheap. King Song has got a long ways to go for the reputation. Yeah, I understand. I agree. They do. I was a huge King Song fan, and I am not anymore. I am not. Dale says to Marty, I'm sure if you were actually giving it away, there would be a ton of people that would want it. Well, yeah. I mean, $800 is pretty cheap. Okay, we got a spammer over on Twitch. Let's see if I can get rid of him. Let's see, what can I do? Let's see, how can I get rid of him? I thought I could just block him there. Okay, well, I can just not show his chat, I guess. I can in YouTube, but it looks like Twitch I can't. Marty says the 134 volt version of the Blitz is 2400. Oh, so that's the 134 that I'm looking at on e-wheels. Okay, 134 is 2400. The 168 is 3000. Gotcha. Redneck on a Wheel says, tried to buy but can't ship the address. It's my hotel. Is it in the United States? Like shipping, like you can only ship automatically to United States and Canada. If it checks the address and it's invalid for some reason, then it would reject it. So what? You live in a hotel, or you're staying in a hotel? Is that what you're saying? Insomniac, has anyone heard from the team over at EVs? Well, I talked about that earlier in the stream as well, about how I was kind of sad that they went out of business. But no, like I saw, the initial announcement from EVs about their going out of business, and their the big sale that they did on parts and wheels before they went out of business. And but no, since then I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything from Gabe, from Bradley, nothing. It's unfortunate. The poll, no poll. No, I think there's a poll. Yeah, there it is. There's the poll, Marty. It just hides it when I have someone's chat displayed on the screen. So you can hit 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it should register your vote. Right now, the emotion P6 is leading substantially. 63% say the P6 is still the hottest wheel. Planet Iceland talking about Wrong Ways video. Maybe just some temporary issue stuff with his F-18. Yeah, the stuff he was complaining about wasn't severe, wasn't deal breakers to me. But like he said, it wouldn't turn off or something, or yeah. I think he said he bricked it doing a firmware update. But I think they gave him an F-18. So Simon says, I've seen people online who bought the P6 as their first wheel. Kind of crazy decision. Yeah. I've seen more than one person say that. And yeah, it is kind of a crazy idea. Imagine your first wheel to learn on being a P6. I mean, you could do it, but it definitely is not the ideal path to do so. Channel member Philip Arnold, he got a shirt as well. Howdy Duff, love the EUC Army shirt. Got from me recently. Awesome, Philip. I'm glad it got there. Unfortunately, Mr. Rexy in Australia, another channel member, I sent him a shirt and he has not gotten his. It evidently went into a black hole over in Australia with their post office. Unfortunately. Ronan says, I'm wondering what emotion will release next. Well, someone mentioned something about like a P6 equivalent for off-road, Ronan, which I didn't hear anything about that. After the slam dunk, that is the P6. Same question for Leap or Kim. Yeah, I don't know. What does Leap or Kim need to release right now? I mean, unless they're going to do like a ultra high performance wheel like the P6, I don't know if that's really something that they need to do. The Lynx S has been widely acclaimed as a really solid wheel. Whereas when it first came out, people were kind of like shrugging their shoulders, like, what makes this that much better? But evidently it is significantly better than the original Lynx, which was a good wheel already. No poll on my phone either. Well, no, you voted already, Dale. I saw your vote come in because you put in the something else. So your vote registered. So you don't see this on the screen right now in the vertical format. I see it, and I think what I see is what you guys are supposed to see, as far as I know. Pro Social Chaos, I bought a ton of parts from EVs. Wish the best. Yes, I've heard a lot of people did that. They loaded up, man. They bought parts they needed and parts they don't even need, at least right now, and they just bought parts for a rainy day because the discounts were it was what, 75% off parts, something like that. So yeah, it was a great deal. Marty says the V9 Pro with a wink as the next wheel for InMotion. No, I don't think so. Ronan says many people bought the OG Sherman as their first wheel back in the days. People want the latest and greatest. Yeah, I remember that trend as well, Ronan. And I remember thinking back then the same thing, that it's not a great first wheel. Now it might not be so bad. Back then, the original Sherman was thought to be like a big and heavy wheel. Now it's kind of small, so Oh, Marty's on the Android mobile app. Well, I mean, if you put your number in for the vote, Marty, 1, 2, 3, or 4, it'll still be registered, and you just have to trust me that I'll tell you the results. Dale says, I think Libra Kim will still be a little while before they drop another wheel. People in Australia haven't even received the first batch of Lynx S yet, really, except for you, because you're special, Dale. Marty says, when I bought my first wheel, it was the best wheel you could buy at the time. Is that true? Because I thought your first wheels were the little King songs, Marty. Right? I mean, I know you got the ACMs then, but I thought the King songs were your first wheels. My first wheel was a 9-bot-1 E Plus. Not the best wheel available, but it was the most popular wheel at the time for sure. And rightfully so. Dale's first wheel didn't even have a brand name. And one Somniac says, the only thing I see either company can do is just keep upgrading the tech and work on aesthetics features. Yeah. Well, I mean, InMotion has a lot of features in their wheels. Have that kick-ass screen, have the cellular modem, USB charging, Bluetooth speakers. They have a lot of good features in InMotion wheels. Tom Nails in wide and he doesn't see the pole. Maybe you guys. Maybe okay. Maybe I've never used this before, so maybe I can see this. I can see the results as they're going, but you can't, and maybe you can only see the results once I close the poll. That makes more sense. That's probably what's going on. That once I close the poll, you guys will be able to see the results. That's what I'm thinking. Live and learn. Philip Arnold says, people told me the ET Max wasn't a good first wheel to learn on. Worked just fine for me. That was your first wheel? No shit, really. Yeah, again, I would say that's not a great wheel to learn on, but I mean, except for the fact that it's such a nice tall case, it makes it easy to learn the mount and dismount when you have a nice high case that you can brace your leg on, especially if you're taller like me. I appreciate a tall case. But I mean, that's a big heavy wheel and a fast wheel. Still loving that in the Sherman L. Glad it didn't start with smaller or lesser wheels. But I would say, Philip, that for every success like you, there's probably 2 failures, people that it didn't work out for, if not more. Oh, Marty, you're going to, okay, you ask, I need to make the smart ass voice when you make comments like this. Hold on.
Here's a thought. Why don't you get out your phone, Duff, and try it yourself?
Because I don't need to, man. Like I said, this is the first time I've used it. So we're figuring out together how the polls work in StreamYard. We're figuring it out together. It's fun. Dale's got 3,500 kilometers on your Lynx S already. Wow, dude. Nice. Planet Iceland says, I would not even buy a P6 for myself, but it is a top quality race device, and I just think I look adequately impressive on my 36 kilogram wheels, S22 and Commander. Yeah, it's funny. I said on my video that I did this week about the Commander GT Pro Plus that by the end of the ride, like if I had tunnel vision and I wasn't looking down and wasn't aware of what I was riding, the ride itself on that wheel reminded me very much of my experience riding the P6. It just felt extremely. The P6 was probably a little bit more maneuverable, I would say, but the Extreme Bull felt planted. It felt stable, no wobbles, super smooth, super powerful. So it did actually remind me in a lot of ways of the P6, which I was surprised by, pleasantly surprised. Marcus Sweden asks, what was the wheel back in 1819 with extra wide tire everyone wanted, like an MC wheel? That was the oh my God. The how can I blank on that? Oh my God. I mean, I've only had a Cayman Jack and a half. The Z10 was the wheel that everyone wanted. And the Z10 was sort of like the S22. Like it was announced and then it wasn't actually available to people for like a year. But I remember when the Z10 was announced, I had very much a similar reaction to the S22 when it was announced. Like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. Coolest thing ever. I got to get it. And when push came to shove, when I was in the position where I could buy a Z10, I also had the opportunity to buy a Kingsong 18L. And I actually bought the 18L over the Z10 for several reasons. But then I did eventually buy a used Z10, which I owned for a little while. And then actually I sold that to Larry Zarkoff several years ago. And as far as I know, Larry still has that wheel, the Z10. Z10 was, it's a very interesting wheel. Not practical, but visually different. The riding experience was very different because of the way that thing is engineered, where the battery pack is inside the wheel itself. It required a lot of body activity to get it to move the way you would expect. Very cool wheel, very unique. They didn't sell a lot of them though. Pro-social chaos. Until the manufacturers start using axial flux motors, I'll continue buying used wheels. Well, I'd like to say that I'm all knowing and I know what an axial flux motor is, but I don't. So I guess you'll be buying used wheels. Last new wheel I bought was the Kingsong F22 Pro. And I don't see myself buying any new wheels anytime soon. Don't need them to fit my needs. I have every possible need covered. Marty says the Sherman L feels on the small side. Really? Okay. Well, you do have some massive wheels, Marty, so. Philip says the poll was on my mobile for a second, then went away. Can't find a way to get it back to vote. I don't think you need it back to vote. I think if you just put in a number, it will register your vote. Put a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in there, and StreamYard is paying attention to that, and it will add it to the poll results. So just put in a 1 for an Emotion P6, 2 for Nosfet Aeon, 3 for Begode X Max, 4 for something else in regards to what is the hottest wheel right now. Oh, Marty correcting me. The ACM was the first wheel? Really? Okay. Why did I think that you had the Kingsongs first? Because I remember you saying that you used to ride the 14C around your work. Okay. I appreciate the correction, Marty, and I know you love to correct me, so. Dale, I remember you talking about this, that you had 2 ACMs and both had bad plugs and the wires melted, the motor wires. I do remember. Okay, I see some people voting in the poll. Let's see if I do this, maybe. No, if I do this, I'm going to hide it, and then I'm going to show it. If I hide it and show it, it'll make you be able to see it again. I'm not sure. Motion P6 pulling away 73% of the people, as saying the P6 is the hottest wheel. Pro-social chaos started out on a 300 watt wheel, and it was an incredible experience in power management and riding the fade out priceless. And I was 300 plus pounds at the time. Oh my God, dude, that had to be like walking a tight wire. That my God. Planet Iceland says, I'm afraid I'd have certain trouble handling heavier wheels than those I presently have, at present at least. Well, I think that this new wheel that I have is the heaviest wheel I've ever had. I think it's heavier than I'm going to need to do some side by sides and get the scale out and like put it next to the V13, weigh the V13 and weigh the Commander Pro and see if it is actually 120 pounds. Because if it is, that would make it the heaviest wheel that I've ever owned. Marty says the last wheel I bought was a Panther. So Marty, do you even have a need for the Panther anymore? Really? With all the other stuff you have? I don't even know where the Panther would fit in with what you have. Why you would need it? Simon wants manufacturers to start using flux capacitor motors so I can travel back in time. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. Pro Social Chaos says axial flux motors are used in electric supercars and are 60 to 70% lower weight at the same power output. It's interesting that because I'm kind of familiar with electric vehicles. I've had 4 Teslas. I've never heard of axial flux motors. Interesting. Slightly higher cost and design hurdles, but the switch is inevitable. Well, that would be cool. Sure. Because wheels certainly are getting quite heavy. Okay. I am current with chat. I'm gonna close the poll. We're gonna close the poll, and then we're gonna see what StreamYard does, if it shows it to you or not. We just stop poll. Okay. Can you see it now? It just basically changed the color of the graph. Let me hide it and show it. I'm just curious if, just for my own knowledge, if you can see it. Let's see, my notes here talked about that. So, making my comments. Hold on a second. Okay. So now you guys see the poll results. So, Marty says, I don't have a need for any wheel, but the Panther has a 22-inch tire where it makes it unique. I know it does, but like I said, do you find yourself actually wanting to ride it with everything else you have? Do you want to ride it? Do you feel like you're missing something by not riding it? You know, the Panther had Panther kind of not as bad as the race, but the Panther had a lot of positive vibes. You know, you guys rode the Panther when you were in China and everyone's like, oh, yeah. But then when Panther started getting delivered in the United States, a lot of people were underwhelmed. Surprise, bad build quality and other things. I know Ron Lyon, he got rid of his in, a couple weeks? And others, I know others were unhappy with him as well. Marty thought a poll was supposed to pop up in your app. No, it doesn't pop. No, it doesn't pop up. It just displays on my screen, but you vote by putting a number in chat. You know, which is different. It's different than the way that YouTube does polls. With YouTube, there is a poll interface in the chat, and you click it on in YouTube in the chat area. So yeah, this is different. The advantage being it's displayed to everybody. There's a total of 5 live streams going on right now at the same time. So it's displayed to everybody. That's the advantage of doing the poll through StreamYard. You see me, nothing. Yeah, I am a little surprised by that as well. You see me. No one said that the X-Max was not the hottest new wheel, but maybe it's because it's not really out in the wild. I mean, Marty has one. And Liam is taking it around for his tour. I don't know if are people that are at the demos for the X-Max, are they being instructed that they can't shoot footage on it? Because I don't recall seeing any videos of people that have been riding the X-Max at these demos. Now, maybe I just haven't seen it, but I've not heard or seen of anyone posting content riding the X-Max at these various demos that Liam's been doing. And I don't know if that's something intentional or not. But again, that would affect the lack of excitement or hype, because if you don't see other people riding a wheel and offering opinions, generally speaking, you're not going to be that excited, even though Marty has had positive things to say about it. Simon saying this, yeah, you won't see this poll in chat. It's displayed on the screen. You vote in the chat just by putting in the number, to be clear. Next live stream, I will have a better understanding of this. Marty likes the Panther. I haven't been riding it because of all the wheels I get. Yeah, I didn't think you didn't like it. I just didn't understand, or I didn't know if you, I don't know, if you care if you had it or not. Like if you feel like it's an important part of your collection or not. Well, here you go, Marty.
You need to explain things better in the future, Duff, regards the poll.
Well, Marty, I think I did explain that I've never used this feature before. This feature was just introduced with StreamYard since I've streamed last. So it's new, but now I understand. And now that I understand, I did explain it, but I think you probably came when I first posted the poll, I explained it, but I think that you didn't, I don't know, you weren't there, you weren't listening, or maybe you were confused, but it's actually pretty simple. You just put in the number of the response that you want into chat, and StreamYard will grab that. It's fine. It's different, but it works. Marty, see, I don't agree with some of your statements, Marty. Most people aren't creators and make videos on what they do or see. Now, Marty, there are so many people that ride around with recording equipment. It's crazy. Certainly not everybody, but there's a ton. And there is no way with all of these demos that Liam has done that people wouldn't be, unless they were told not to, that they would not be recording and posting stuff out to social media about it. Absolutely no way. So, come on, man. You know better than that. Pro Social Chaos, Sensi Vegan, and Green Master Mike have a live stream in 20 minutes. Very underrated EUC content. I've seen some of their stuff. Yeah, no, I know both those guys. And that's good timing because I'm going to be getting off soon. I think my girlfriend will be here soon. Let me see. Okay, yeah, she's on her way, so I'll be signing off here in a few minutes. But yeah, they're both good guys. I like them both. So is everyone blacklisted alien your eyes? Haven't kept with the community news at all. I haven't I didn't like block them or whatever. I've actually wanted to monitor if they were posting anything. That being said, and again, in the beginning of the stream, we talked about this. It just seems like they have made an enemy of almost everybody in the community, which I think was really, really dumb. Really dumb. Marty was hoping that that would get me to use the voice. Well, you succeeded. Larry's going to teach Kung Fu. Thanks for stopping in, Larry. Okay, so I have one topic to talk about quickly before I sign off. Have you seen that Zen Lee, who has been trying to come up with various ideas how to turn his EUC content creation and hobby into income? You know, he did like a crypto deal or something regarding EUCs, and that didn't turn out too well. And then he had his EUC tournament, one wheel versus EUC, which I talked about, I think, on one of the live streams that I thought I didn't enjoy it at all. I mean, it seemed like the guys who were doing it had fun, but I think that was it. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't a spectator sport. It wasn't interesting to watch. But and I think E-Wheels was actually backing him on that. So I get that idea. But now he's in the pad creation business. He's making like EUC jump pads with these wild, like decorative things on them. Like he has some that like the front of it looks like a dragon. There's one that's another dragon that's like smoking a joint. There's several designs, and I'm seeing these things, and again, this is just my opinion, but I'm like, I don't think I would like to have that on my wheel. I don't. I think the designs are cool, but not in that function. Like I don't want to have a big dragon head poking out on the front of my wheel. And I was just curious what other people thought about that. If people think that they're cool or they're not. And of course, it's a very subjective thing, and it seems like he sold a few of them, but I don't. I'm very surprised that there's. I'll be very surprised if there's any kind of significant demand for them, because it doesn't seem. It just doesn't seem. I don't know. Seems weird. I've seen pictures of the wheels with the pads on, and I'm like, that doesn't look. It doesn't look good to me. So I just didn't know if I didn't really ask if anyone else has seen them, and if they did, what they thought about them. Planet Iceland's going to bed. Good night. Good night, buddy. I'm going to be joining you soon. Marty, I've had a girlfriend for 16 months. Didn't I tell you this? Or I don't know. Yeah, I do. I have, and I do. Dennis Bruce, I have 5 wheels and completely love the Commander Mini in GT for a plus. The build quality is incredible on both of them. Marty dropped his down a cliff and the thing still drove fine. Oh, yeah. I do remember that, Marty. You dropped yours down the cliff. Simon says Zen's new pads are wild. Yeah, I mean, they're creative, right? They're creative. And obviously there's never been pads like that before. But would I want a pair? No. Would they look cool in a display stand or something? Yeah, probably. So, you see me, those Dragon power pads are ugly as F. Well, I mean, I didn't put it that way, but they just different strokes for different folks, but they don't appeal to me. And I was just kind of taking the temperature of other people if they thought similarly as I do. It's like a nightmare or hangover. Idaho Roaming Gnome says he told him he needs to make some big black snake Dido pads for your Opsum. Yeah, there you go. Hey, what's up, PJ? You're sliding in here at the end. I'm about ready to sign off, but welcome, buddy. Feel free to go back and check out the replay. I'm over 2 hours so far. I've been streaming. Spartacus says, enjoying the stream. Smash the like button or the thumbs up. It's free and will help bring more people to the party. Let's go like and subscribe. Thank you, buddy. That sounds like she's here now. Sounds like another poll is needed. Cool or not cool drag pads? No, I don't want. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to like be real negative to Zen. But I was just curious because when I saw those, I'm just like, I don't know. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. So Simon says, I think they look appropriate on his wheels, but I wouldn't use them. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it's subjective. I mean, if he thinks it's really cool, that's fine. And we were talking about Green Master Mike. He actually reached out to me and he saw Zen's pads and he liked them so much he asked me like if I'd be able to design him a set. I said, no, I don't really have the modeling skills to do that. So I don't know if he had the guy, I don't know who's doing these designs. I don't think it's Zen. I think someone else is doing it for him. He's printing them, but I don't think he's designing them. But someone designed a set of pads for Mike as well. Not Dragon, something else. Maybe he'll talk about it on the live stream. So it definitely appeals to some people, just not to me. Poll. Okay, this is just to test the poll functionality further. So now, since Marty understands polls, we'll do a very quick poll here. Okay, we're going to do a new poll. Why did it get so dark in here all of a sudden? Pads. The poll is Zen's pads. The options are love them, hate them, and no opinion. So there's 3 options on this poll. Creating the poll. I'm going to start it and show it. Okay. So again, if you look on the screen, not in the chat, on the screen, it says Zen's pads, type 1, 2, or 3, love them, hate them, or no opinion. So enter a 1 if you love them, enter a 2 if you hate them, enter a 3 if you have no opinion. Okay, so put your vote in. No one's voted yet. Okay, some people have voted. Got no opinion and someone hates them so far. Viking channel member, a member for 43 months, taking advantage of the complimentary super chat that you get as a perk for being a member. Thank you, a Viking. PJ just got off work. All right. All right. So far, out of the votes we have, 14% love them, 29% hate them, 57% have no opinion. Pro Social Chaos. Zen is working on a pair of 3D printed gloves. Tough design problem, but interesting. So do you know, is he actually modeling these, or is he just like giving his ideas to someone else that's actually modeling them? Because that's a very complicated thing to do. Both of the pads that he's shown and to do gloves, that takes some really significant modeling skills. And I can't imagine 3D printed gloves being very practical or durable. Oh, I know why it got dark. Why did my lights go out? All my Gobi lights just went out. That's why. Huh. Every single Gobi light in the room just went out. Yeah, I don't. Hold on. It's weird. I got a notice. Every single Govee light in my house is off. I'm turning them all back on through the app. What's the bar? What would have caused that? That's interesting because I saw a Google alert that they recommended that everyone with a home router reboot it because there's some sort of hack that the Russians were doing that could affect home routers. Although they did talk about TP-Link devices specifically. So that's very odd that all of that stuff turned off. Ziggy, turn on bar light. What the hell? Ziggy, turn on ledge. Wow, that's freaky, guys. All that stuff turned off at the same time. That's weird. Very weird. Okay, so anyways, back to the Zen pads. Again, I don't know if you guys are seeing these results on screen. Not too many people love them. 13% love them, 38% hate them, 50% have no opinion. TJ, how's Dawn doing? That's a question for Marty, I guess. I have not had any communication with Dawn in quite a long time. Based on her YouTube videos, it sounds like she has had some bad situations going on with her ex-husband. But health-wise, I believe she's doing pretty well. I don't know if Marty has a lot of contact with her or not at this point. A Viking subs to Dawn for a year. Duff recommended her channel. Sure. Marty says she's looking for a cheap E20. Really? Why? What does she need an E20 for? I thought I heard that she sold like the Panther that she got that someone gave her. And she was selling her Masters. I don't know what she even has at this point. So Dale says Austin Marhold designed them. Okay, so it is not Zen. Zen's just printing the files. Okay, well, that makes more sense. Okay, again, Austin is modeling the pads. All right. Hottest wheels, V10F. Yeah, sure. SXM Gator. Yeah. All my lights turned off. All of my smart lights turned off. That's very weird. And being an IT professional, that makes me scratch my head for sure. Let's see, my printers stayed up, right? All my 3D printers are still alive. Yeah, it was just all my smart lights went off at the same time. Very weird. Yes, everyone noticed what was going on quicker than I did. Simon loves that he's making them different strokes for different folks. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I guess I was just talking about and I know you're like an artist, Simon, so yeah, I would expect you to appreciate them probably more than the average person. I just think that they look odd on an electric unicycle. That's all. Idaho roaming gnome. I think he's using AI to model them. Well, I mean, AI can generate 3D models. So, I mean, in some cases, you can literally just describe something to AI, and it will show you a picture, and then you can say, okay, well, make a 3D model for this, and it can literally be that simple. Now, it used to be much more hard. harder. Marty says, I must be desperate for money. Why? Why am I desperate for money? I'm not desperate for money. Iran hit the Naples power plant. You know, so it wasn't power. Because I actually have UPSs on all this stuff. So, it wasn't power. It's just something flicked them all off. Simon says a glitch in the matrix. Maybe. Dale says, not sure if Austin modeled Zens, but he did the ones for Mike. I think Mike told me it was the same person. I think. I'm not sure, but I think. So, okay. All right. So we let this poll run for a little bit. So let's close it because I got to get out of here. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock. So we're going to stop the poll. We'll hide it and show it. Okay. Final results on Zen's pads. 13% love them, 38% hate them, 50% no opinion. That's fine. People should do what they want to do. And if Zen is making these and people are buying them, that's really the biggest indicator of all. If someone is interested in buying what you're selling, then you should sell it to them. So it's fine with me. So, all right, guys, like I said, my girlfriend's here. I'm going to wrap it up. I do appreciate everyone stopping in. Like I said, it's been a month and a half since my last stream. Again, my intent is to try to do it more often. Sometimes my intent does not turn out to be reality, but I will do my best to get more content out there on a regular basis. I like to get out, and I want to actually do a range test on the Extreme Bull because it has such a big battery. I'm curious if I can match what I got on the P6, 77 miles. That would be an interesting test. I just need to allocate a lot of time for it. So, but anyways, guys, thank you very much for stopping in. All my channel members that are on the stream, thank you very much, even more. But even if you're not a member, even if you're not a subscriber, if you just stopped in, I appreciate you too. So I hope you have a great weekend ahead. That's all I have for now. And until next time,